Right, welcome to the Vineyard. I'm going to show you around, show you what we've done so far. Bear in mind that we haven't been in here very long. It's only December now, and we took it on the last day of April, so we've only been working here with spare time and weekends and whatnot. But here we go. As you can see, it's looking a lot more tidy than it used to be. We've progressed quite a bit. Obviously we cleaned up the whole area first, and now we're starting to get beds prepared for planting and started putting the polytunnel up. All the posts on the polytunnel, I actually found them in amongst the debris in the garden, so I thought may as well reuse it and put it back to proper use. It's I haven't used all the poles that I found. I just picked up our best ones. If I had used all of them, it would have stretched a third of the way across the garden, which is probably a bit more than what I really need, you know. And it'll also be a bit more expensive to do. So far, what I've done is I've terraced off the ground, which probably doesn't really look much on the camera, but there's been a fair few tons moved by hand, basically pushed down the hill. I've cemented in the far, concreted in the far side using a 3-2-1 mix. So that's set. Basically, when I put it up, because I was doing it on my own, I had to use wagon straps just to brace it all together, just so it would stay up, and it's working all right. So I've got that side to cement in yet, but we'll get there eventually. Just not today because I'm too tired for that. Right. Anyway, we'll walk down a bit. Right, this bed here and these 4 beds I'm going to use for growing veg. Haven't quite decided what I'm going to be putting in just yet, but we'll work that out at spring. I mean, it's still a bit rough at the moment. Like, chickens are enjoying it. A lot more chickens here, as you've probably read in my blog earlier in the year. We lost all but 3 due to the fox attack, but now there's a lot more different rare breeds in, and good characters, good fun. I've also reused a lot of the brick just as a bit of a revetment for the ground. This all comes from that section of wall up there that fell down a few years before I took the garden on. So, you know, it's everything's getting cleaned up and total, like, and progressing. Down the bottom end here, I've just been I've put a few beds in, and I've been planting up. It doesn't look very good this time of year, like, it's December now, so a lot of stuff's gone back underground. So, but all the plants here, you see, everything that I've planted up so far has just been reclaimed out of people's gardens. Had I not been planting it, it would have all been going to the tip. A lot of stuff, like the flax here, and the bamboos in the background, and these Prince of Wales grasses, they're all like one plant, which I've just split up in a few different, just multiplied them. Down on this section, we've got a mix of cosmias, Middlemas daisies, there's daylilies in there, box hedge, and a few various other things. But like I say, we'll see all them again in the spring. I've also put probably about 2,000 bulbs in at various points around the garden, mainly under the trees, just to try and brighten the place up and bring a bit more wildlife into it as well, you know. It's quite important. So anyway, caravan has been moved from the top of the garden to the bottom. At the moment I just use it storing stuff in. It'll go on a journey eventually, like, but for now it's handy just to keep stuff out in the dry. Up the top where it was, they've replaced it with a new eco chicken hut. It was all made from recycled produce. It's either recycling or upcycling, or whatever you want to call it, really. Like, I don't know, there's that many different words and stuff like that these days. But the chickens seem to be happy. Yeah, we've still got the hawthorn tree, which as you can see, it's destroying the wall really, like, so that's coming up soon on the agenda. Chop down. Really, I think a lot of the old fruit trees here, despite the amount of fruit that they put on, they've passed the best, like, so I'm going to plant up some fresh ones, so as we do lose them, you know, there's something here to take the place. Down this bottom section of the garden, I would say sort of up to about here, this time of year, heavy frost is just lying in the bottom, so I don't know if I'm going to plant as far down with the vine runs as I previously planned. But again, I'll think about that in the future. As you can see, I've got everywhere set up, but what I'm thinking about doing now is just planting up the top wall for the grapes and then take it from there. I'll be using the polytunnel for propagating. I'll be taking a lot of cuttings from my own vine back at the house, which you'll have seen, and hopefully I'll be planting them up the following year in the rows, but till then I'm probably going to purchase a few different varieties of vines. You can use the south wall because basically that's where my confidence is in growing grapes. I know I'll be whether we'll do it in the rows is still yet to be seen, but generally it's pretty warm. If it's going to happen anywhere up in the north, it's going to be in here, like, so. Man, this is all stone which I've basically dug out of the ground here. There's a big mound and the rabbits keep darting in it, so work in progress clearing this out, but I think in general I'm not nowhere near the amount of rabbits in here as we used to. The stone, I'll reuse that for something at a later date. Now this bit in particular, what I suspect is that the spring outside the garden was probably connected to a pipe which I reckon is underneath the ground, and it used to come up into the garden and literally come up and out of here for the old irrigation system, but I like to reinstall that, but no one really knows much about it. So at the moment what I'm doing is behind the pond here, which you can see that I've lined out now. It used to just be a big stone circle with a hole in it. Behind that I've got the plastic piping, which basically I push over the wall, take it up the hill and push it up the tube at the spring source, and that fills up with water, and the pressure of the water in the tube's great enough to lift it back up and over the wall. I'm going to be making a full irrigation system from this, so the whole area is going to be like basically irrigated by the natural spring water, which is much better than having tap water for your plants. It's got no chlorine, which can kill bacteria in your soil, and a bit like Yakult, a lot of bacteria is good, more good bacteria than bad generally when you're growing, like, so. But the pond itself I'll just be using for wildlife and maybe grow some lilies and stuff like that, and it's fair deep, like, a bit frozen as well, but it'll come up to about here on me, so it's a good depth indeed. Again, been planting up various different things, and we'll see better in the spring, really, like. So hi, that's about where we are. I'll keep you updated. Draw.